Howdy folks, and welcome to the Hillbilly Kitchen. Today we're making new taters and fresh green beans. I went out in the garden today and I picked these green beans and dug up the new taters, and I'm going to show y'all how to string your beans and how to fix your taters and how to cook these. Now we cooking these like Granny did, and Granny didn't serve no crunchy green beans with no strange sauce on them. Granny cooked her green beans till they were quite done, and she served them with some kind of seasoning on them, like she would put some salt pork, fat back, some bacon or bacon grease. You could even season them with butter if you want to, and a little salt and pepper, and that's it. So that's what we're doing today is Granny's green beans. I'm using some bacon grease that I saved and salt and pepper, and my taters, and the taters and the green beans are going to kind of flavor each other too. The first step in making green beans and new taters is washing everything really good first. But I wanted to show you some stuff about the green beans here. The only other thing you need besides a little seasoning in the beans and the taters are enough water to cover them with. And we're going to cook our green beans for, I don't know, these are tender, they're youngs, but we're still going to cook them for probably 45 minutes before we add the taters. And then we're going to cook the taters till they get done. We're actually going to kind of separate the shell and the bean a little bit, or we're going to cook them till they start to separate. If you will notice here, my beans are slightly different colors. This is about as done as you want to let a bean get if you're going to cook it like this. Now, if it gets more than this, if it loses more color, see this one's almost white. If it loses more color, the shell's actually going to get too tough to cook. But at that point, what you do is you just open it up and shell the bean. And this is my white one, so I'll just go ahead and show you. You just split the shell and you take the beans out. Now this one's not too tough. It's still plenty tender enough to cook, but later on in the season, they will get too tough. And Granny would just take her finger and rake the beans out and cook the beans and discard the shell. And that's what you do if your beans get tough, if they, get too dried out to cook. But like I said, it's still pretty early in the season. These fresh little tender green ones here, they're what make new taters and fresh green beans, new taters and fresh green beans. And these beans, these are half runners. They'll get quite a bit bigger than this, but for right now, we're gonna cook some with our taters. What you want to do is, you see the little curved end on your bean. You're actually going to bend it backward, kind of take your fingernail and pinch it and bend it backward and pull it down to the stem end. And then you're going to bend it the other direction and pull it down. And if you don't do it this way, all of the strings will not come off of your bean, and you'll end up with stringy beans. But you go take the curve end and bend it backward, and you have to use your fingernail a little bit for this. And then when you get down to the stem end, you go down the other side. And I know a lot of y'all know how to do this, and a lot of y'all know how to make this, but not everybody sit on the front porch with their granny. So this is for the folks that didn't get to sit on the front porch with their granny. If you were blessed enough to have a granny to sit on the front porch with, you truly had something special in life. I know for me, I will miss my granny until the day we get to see each other again in heaven. Yep. If your string breaks, you can go up from the other end. And sometimes these tender beans won't have a string that runs the whole length of them. That one there is starting to get a little bit tough. It's white. Oh, goodness. I broke the end off of this one. Or it's broke off. Did I string it already? Oh, I must have. Yep, I already strung that one. Anyway, once you get them stringed, you want to break them all up into the same size pieces, and I'm doing about 1 inch long. I ain't getting out no tape measure and measuring them. If you want to, though, that'd be a good way to spend a day, I suppose. I remember sitting out under the old maple tree in Granny's front yard. It was a huge maple tree, and there was no grass under it at all, partly because of the shade of the maple tree and partly because that's where we all sat. And all the animals hung out under there too because it was shady and cooler. But we would sit under that maple tree and buckets, 5-gallon buckets of green beans and break and string beans all day long. That was part of how we spent our summer. Now, some of my taters here have spots, and I'm going to clean them up a little bit. And I'm going to have to harvest my taters before too long because my vines are already starting to die, or my tater plants. And once your tater plants die, you got to get them out of the ground or they will rot. But all we're going to do for right now is add a little bit of bacon grease to this and a little bit of salt and pepper and put a lid on it. And we're going to let them sit here and cook, like I said, about 45 minutes or so. Now, if it was later in the year and these beans were bigger and they were tougher, we might let them cook an hour to an hour and a half before we added our taters, but about 45 minutes this time of year. With prices going up every day on gas, groceries, and eating out, we could all use a little extra cash because our budgets are getting tighter. With the free Upside app, you can get extra cash on things that you buy every day anyway. All you do is download the app, and you can use the QR code on your screen or the link below. Open it up and look for offers in your area. With more than 100,000 participating locations, you're going to find offers almost anywhere you are. Claim the offer, pay with your card like normal, and you get cash back that you can transfer into your bank account on top of what you are already getting in loyalty programs and cash back on your credit card. It's not credit and it's not extra points, it's cash. If you use code THK10, you get 10 bonus dollars on top of what you're already earning. That's right, $10 on your first purchase with the Upside app. Upside has already given over $1 billion cash to their users. So download it now, get your part. I did, and I've told all my family and friends to. This ain't a huge pot of beans, but it's decent sized, and I'm probably putting at least a tablespoon of bacon grease in here. And you know, you can use some kind of seasoned meat or you can use butter, but you want some kind of fat in here to season these with. And what we're going to do is we're going to let them come to a boil and then put the lid on and let them simmer. And you can make these with any kind of meal. I mean, any meat at all will go with these. Everything from a hamburger steak to a steak to chicken to pork chops, it does not matter. But when we used to have them as a kid, we would just have green beans and cornbread and maybe cut up some tomatoes and cucumbers out of the garden, because these half-runner green beans, the beans in them are a decent source of protein. And there wasn't always meat, especially this time of the year, because most of the time you would hunt in the fall, and any farm animals that you raised, they were also slaughtered and processed in the fall. I mean, you didn't have the smokehouse going in the middle of summer. It was way too hot. All that stuff was done in the fall after the weather cooled down. So by the time midsummer rolled around, there wasn't a whole lot of meat left that was available to eat. So you'd have green beans, new taters, and cornbread, and some other vegetables out of the garden for dinner. But this is a really good pan of cornbread meal, and we'll link some recipes in here for that. So we'll be back when it's time to add our taters. You can go ahead and clean the house or whatever, take a nap while you're waiting on your green beans to cook. Alrighty, I checked on my beans there. I just tasted one of them and they're starting to get tender. You can also see we got quite a few beans floating in here. That's a good sign. When the beans start to float and separate, then you know that the shells are starting to get tender, and that's what you want. And you want your beans tender too. You don't want a big old dry, crunchy bean. So now I'm just going to add my taters in here. And I washed them again, and I cut off all the spots. Now I cut my taters into pieces instead of putting them in whole, and you can put them in whole if you want to. You don't have to cut them, but cutting them does a few things. Number one, you can see if there's any bad spots in the middle. Number two, because I cut them, it's going to allow the flavor of the beans and the bacon grease or whatever I use to season them with to kind of get into the tater flesh a little bit more. And number three, it's going to make them cook faster. Now, I done been smelling these beans cooking for, I don't know, 45 minutes anyway. And I want to eat in the next half hour. And if I leave these taters whole, some of them was that big, and because their new taters are nice and firm, it's going to take them a long time to get tender, because we're going to cook these taters till they're tender too. And I'm going to tell you something else. These are excellent leftover. And the more times you reheat them, the better they are. So I'm going to add me a little bit more salt and pepper. And you're going to want to put some salt and pepper on the table. I ain't putting a whole lot in here. But I do want a little bit of that flavor in my beans and taters. And once this comes back to a nice boil and I put the lid on it, the water's pretty much going to cover everything. But I think I am going to add just a touch more water, because I don't want my taters sticking up out of it. Alrighty. Now, just a touch. Like I said, mostly cover them. That's good right there. I probably didn't add half a cup of water. Now we're just going to put the lid back on here, and we're going to let these cook until the taters are tender. And, you know, it depends on how big your taters are. Probably another 30 minutes, enough time to cook a pan of cornbread. Psalm 133:1 says, "Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity." Now, that was addressed to the church of the day, but it also applies to families. And there are a great many of us where our families are not dwelling in unity, and we are not getting along with each other. I think if we had a lot more simple meals on our table, that we could sit around and just talk and visit. The kind of meals that Granny cooked, the ones that came out of the garden, the ones that we grew. And if we spent a lot more time sitting under that old maple tree, stringing beans together and talking, we would have more unity and more peace. And I know sitting under a maple tree sure is a pleasant way to spend an afternoon. And it's a good way to get a really good meal. So if you are blessed enough to have an aunt, a granny, a mama, a sister, see if you can't find some time to get together this summer and sit under the maple tree, string a few beans, maybe peel some peaches to can. Preparing food together is a very pleasant and unifying activity, and so is enjoying it together once you prepare it. All right, dinner is done. Now, this could not be any simpler. And you can see here that our beans are kind of all broke up and are a little bit separated. That's what you want. And you just dip you out a few taters with them there. Maybe add a little bit of butter to the top of it. Like I said, you're going to want some salt and some pepper on it. Cut you up some cornbread, a few fresh vegetables from the garden. And this is exactly the kind of simple meal that I grew up eating. In fact, all of life was a whole lot simpler. Our house was just something to keep the rain off of us, and our car barely made it to town. A vacation was a few days sleeping on the ground in a leaky tent down by the creek. But we always had food that was grown and prepared by hands that loved us, and we had each other. Life was good and it was pleasant. It seems like we're all so busy getting things, and it's not the things that we need, it is each other. And if you grew up with this, if you know what I'm talking about, share it with the younger folks, even if all you can do is give them a taste of it. Tell them the stories. Thank you so much for stopping by and visiting us in the Hillbilly Kitchen. Thank you for being a part of our family. If you haven't already, please don't forget to click like and subscribe before you leave, because we can't wait to see you again. And until next time, remember to put God first.